Hello, we're Team 6 and today we'll be presenting the immune system. We're group 217. Our teammates are Jesus Patricio, Leonardo Perez, Carolina Gomez, Eduardo Mondragon, and me, Maximo Caballero. Sadly, our teammate Diego Ruiz didn't help with the elaboration of this project.
Function of the immune system. The immune system is a complex system consisting of cellular and humoral components, secretions, whose function is to recognize between the own and the not own of our body, thus providing defense mechanism against infections and tolerance to the components of the organism itself. A test of the function of the immune system, which is to fight infection, is a large number of persistent infections suffered by individuals suffering from immunodeficiency.
Parts of the immune system. Bone marrow. Bone marrow is sponge-like tissue found inside the bones, also multiply. These cells move all organs and tissues through the blood. Thymus. The thymus is located behind the brainstem up above the heart. Its gland-like organ reaches full maturity only in children, and, and it's then slowly transformed in fatty tissue. Lymph nodules. Lymph nodules are small bean-shaped tissues found along the lymphatic vessels. The lymph nodules act as filters. Various immune system cells trap germs in the lymph nodules and activate the creation of special antibodies in blood. Spleen. It stores various immune system cells, breaks down to red blood cells. It stores and breaks down plates, which are responsible for clotting the blood. Tonsils. The location of the throat plate, they stop germs entering the body to the mouth or nose. Contain a lot of white blood cells, and these are different types of tunnels. Plate tunnels, adenoids, and the linguinal tonsil. Mucous membrane. Most half of body cells are produced antidotes found in the bowel wall, especially the last part of the small bowel and the appendix.
Illnesses and sickness. Sometimes a person may have an immune response even though there is no real threat. This can lead to problems such as allergies, asthma, and autoimmune diseases. Some conditions caused by an overreactive immune system are asthma, eczema, and allergic rhinitis. Asthma is a chronic inflammatory disorder of the airways characterized by coughing, shortness of breath, and chest tightness. Eczema, an allergen causes an itchy rash known as atopic dermatitis. Allergic rhinitis, sneezing, a runny nose, sniffling, and swelling of your nasal passages from indoor allergens like dust and pets or outdoor allergens like pollen or molds. In autoimmune diseases, the body attacks normal healthy tissue. The three most common are type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus. Type 1 diabetes is the immune system attacks the cells in the pancreas that make insulin. Insulin removes sugar from the blood to use as energy. Rheumatoid arthritis. This type of arthritis causes swelling and deformities of the joints. An autoantibody called rheumatoid factor is in the blood of some people with rheumatoid arthritis. Lupus. This disease that attacks body tissue including the lungs, kidney, and skin. Many types of autoantibodies are found in the blood of people with lupus.
Vocabulary words. The chosen words for our presentation were immunity, pathogen, vaccines, antibody, disease, allergies, autoimmune, and antigen. Let's start with immunity. It can be defined as a system in charge of identifying what belongs to itself and non itself. Immunity stands for our immunity system. and it's the system that helps us to identify what organs or what cells are included in our organism, our complete organism, our body, and which ones are of the zero are harmful for our body. There are two types of immunity. Innate immunity, in simple words, is considered the first line of defense, characterized by its immediate response. This means that when an infection or when a virus or when a microorganism is detected, this immunity is the one who reacts first to counterattack it. Then we have the adaptive immunity, characterized by this delayed response, including memory functions to identify the pathogen. This one is a little bit more powerful, but it requires some time to arrive to the battle, let's say like that. Uh, and it's really important because it's the one who is stronger and the one who is mostly guaranteed to completely destroy the let's in example the infection. The next word is pathogen. Simply put, a pathogen is an organism that can cause a disease. Our body is constantly surrounded by microorganisms. It's something that most of us already know. However, what's the difference between these microorganisms and a pathogen? Well, the main difference is that a microorganism around us doesn't really care about entering or taking property of our own organism or our main functions or our nutrients. They doesn't care. Uh, they don't care at all. But pathogens do. When they enter our body, they present a potential danger to our health. So yeah, this is really important to fight against them. The most common types of pathogen involve bacteria, fungi, viruses, and parasites. Here we have an image that also where it can be can classified each pathogen. For example, we have parasites, protozoa, fungi, prokaryote, viruses, and prion. They are divided into bicellular, living, and acellular, non-living. The next word is vaccines. According to WHO, a vaccine is any preparation with the purpose of stimulating the production of antibodies to generate immunity against a disease, and a specific disease. And antibodies is a term that we will talk a little bit later, but in simple words so you can understand better. An antibody is small weapons that are used to facilitate the fight against a pathogen. Each vaccine is used to fight against a different pathogen or a different disease. Now, vaccines can be administered through injection, and most of them are used to increase the mortality rate. This is a really important point that I consider something amazing because in the last century, the mortality rate among children increased because that's the period of our lifespan where most of us humans get the vaccines we need to survive the rest of our lives in a proper way. So, yeah, I think that's really important about science that they really increased our mortality rates as our in total in general our species. The next word is antibody. That's the term we were talking about early. An antibody can be defined as a protein that our immune system creates when an antigen is detected to counterattack it. As I said before, antibodies are small weapons are, to fight against a specific pathogen. An antigen is something that those antibodies detect, and antigen are derived from specific pathogens. There is and then is a different example. There is a different pathogen, or there is a different antigen depending if it's a bacteria, a virus, a fungi, or a parasite. And of course, there is a different antibody depending on the antigen. The next word we have is a disease. Disease is a word that has many meanings, several meanings. In biology, a disease can be classified as any harmful deviation from from the normal state within an organism. What does this mean? It's a disease is, let's say, the alteration of the normal functions that organisms usually do. A diseased organism usually exhibits abnormal behavior related with symptoms caused by the disease. Main types of disease are infectious disease, hereditary disease, deficiency disease, and psychological disease. I will explain each one of them just quickly. Infectious disease are the ones who are come from virus or bacteria, and examples are the ones are fever, for example. A simple example. Hereditary disease are the ones who come from some ancestors from the genes. Uh, then we have deficiency disease. Deficiency stands for lack of. So they're related when our body lacks certain substances that are really needed to survive. And psychological diseases are the ones related with our brain, mostly. The next word we have is allergies. They are response of an organism when exposed to a substance that usually won't trigger any reaction. This occurs because certain organisms are more sensitive to such substances than others. That's why they will trigger a stronger response. So, just to summarize, allergies are depending on the organism we are focusing on. Allergies can have different reactions in the organism, but um, most allergies are because that organism has certain, let's say, um, weak weakness to the certain substance. That's why they trigger a powerful reaction where they should not do it, because that's anormal. Some examples of allergies, the ones that are most common, is asthma, that's a breathing disease, rhinitis, dermatitis, food allergies, the are ones from consumption, come from consumption, and medication allergies that comes from medicine. And that's
So we'll end up this vocabulary check with the word autoimmune. Autoimmune is the word used whenever the autoimmune system won't reconnect itself. So as soon as a stranger, the immune system starts attacking itself, leaving you without any type of defense against bacteria, viruses, etc., etc.